We're gonna come here because they want to play and they want to win.
Philly. I just
Like two chicken fillets, two fillets. Jay, two Chick-fil-A's.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
What's up, guys? We're back for another episode of the podcast, Big Cat Chat, episode number 14. Today, it is just Shawn and I. Normally, whenever it's just two of us, it's Brian, but this time, Shawn's here. Brian's got some personal stuff going on. He'll be back next week, more than likely. How you doing, Shawn?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing fine. You know who isn't doing fine?
Joe Schobert?
Tim Tebow.
Him too?
I mean, take it how you will, but either way, let's go jump straight into it. Speaking of Joe Schobert, the Jags traded Joe Schobert to the Steelers for a 6th-round pick in 2022, which this is mostly just a contract dump. The pick, he didn't have much value in my opinion. A lot of people think he was worth more, which maybe he's worth slightly more, but he was expensive and he's not that good. He wasn't going to start, so.
It's a overpaid middle linebacker who is decent in coverage and is not very good at stopping the run. You're not going to get a lot of money for that. I mean, it's a linebacker. It's not a pass-rushing linebacker.
He does pretty much the exact same thing that Miles Jack does. And
yeah,
they want
just not as good.
Yeah, they want somebody who can be really good against the run. That's why they have Damian Wilson. And apparently Shaquille Quarterman is pushing for the job as well, so we'll see.
In the same token, though, you know how my stance is. I get it was a cap move, but, you know, in my opinion, the cap isn't a thing. And we were fine either way with the cap.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still paying half his salary this year anyway, or like 55% of it or something like that.
Yeah, we're paying $3.5 million this year, but nothing for the rest.
Yeah, so it's just like, honestly, the move is probably just a wash. He wasn't going to get much playing time in this scheme, so it's like, whatever.
Yeah, I could care less.
At least you got something for him as opposed to just cutting him.
Pretty much, because I don't think, the Jags clearly didn't want him. They like Damian Wilson much more.
And trading him helps out the dead money versus just releasing him outright, so.
If there's anything to look at this, Dave Caldwell was missing a lot at the end of his time. I mean, he missed a lot during his entire time with the Jags, but
yeah, this is a blatant miss.
Urban's been throwing everybody out that's related to Dave Caldwell. Draft.
He definitely would have been better off throwing a smaller contract at Blake Martinez versus Joe Schobert that free agency year.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know how much Blake Martinez got for, but I'm pretty sure it was less than Schobert. I think Schobert was the highest paid linebacker.
10 mil, so not too much of a difference, but.
So yeah, he would have been better though. He fits the scheme better.
And he doesn't miss as many tackles as Joe Schobert does.
He's more of a thumper.
Yeah.
Which is what they're looking for. Which is why they got Damian Wilson and they like Shaq Quarterman and apparently they like that other guy Chappelle Russell or whatever his name is.
Yeah, I saw him on the depth chart. We'll talk about the depth chart later.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna need to see more before.
Apparently he's fast. He's like a faster Shaq Quarterman or something like that. I don't know.
Speed. That's all you got to hear to get Urban Meyer going.
You run a 4.3? Signed. You can't catch? That's okay. We'll teach you.
Yeah, we'll teach you. Even if you've been in the league for a decade, we'll still try to teach you to catch. Anyways, now let's go over preseason. Let's go ahead and just talk about the Jags preseason game versus the Browns, the opener. It was painful. It was. They didn't really do anything. Urban Meyer said that's not who we're going to be offensively.
Right.
They had a very vanilla game plan. You could evidently see it on the field too.
Yeah.
And Trevor Lawrence only played 2 drives. He looked solid, held onto the ball a bit too much, but either way, I'll let Shawn pick a couple players to point out how they performed, good or bad, and then I'll pick a couple after.
AJ Cann was mauling people all game long.
He had that 8.5 rating.
He had that one where people are saying he gave up the sack. Trevor Lawrence did hold the ball a little long that play.
He had 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, so I mean, you can put that on whoever. You can put that on whoever.
He was still probably the best offensive lineman.
Hot take, he might be our best offensive lineman. I know people like Linder. People think Cann sucks, but Cann's been balling the last couple. Cann's been balling, dude.
Cann's been getting better every year since we put him against that bum Will Richardson.
And he stays healthy.
Facts.
The best ability availability, and durability. Which is why I'm glad we brought Shatley back, because Linder,
Speaking of that, Andrew Norwell hasn't practiced and it feels like a decade.
I think he practiced yesterday.
Oh, before yesterday he hadn't practiced and felt like
yeah, they said he was back. He was padded up. Maybe he didn't practice, but I think he was back in full pads.
Finally.
But I mean, honestly, he's a veteran, so I mean, I don't. Hey, give Ben Barch all the reps you want to give him. Andrew Norwell's a professional. He's a vet. He's been doing this for Jesus Christ. How long has he been in the league? 7, 8 years now. I think he knows how to handle it.
Yeah.
Might as well rest him. But other players, I thought C.J. Henderson had an outstanding game.
He gave up like a 50-something passer rating.
I think
4 targets, 2 catches, and 2 pass breakups.
All of the starting corners looked really good, except for that one play by Tyson Campbell where he got mossed in the end zone, which happens
a lot for him.
If you want to talk to AP Mark Long about it, why does this keep happening to you?
Trayvon Grimes, baby. I don't have the jersey, but I got the other guys.
That was a dick question to ask. And either way, the corners look really sticky, man. Like, they're on their dudes. Like, margin, if we get a little bit more pass rush, but I think the scheme was very vanilla for pass rush wise. If we can generate some pass rush, man, what these corners are like, they're like on the hip. They were on the hip of the receivers all game long. Even
then, like, I think the secondary was playing pretty like vanilla too. Like, there was a lot of just soft coverage. Like,
if the secondary as a whole looked really good though. As my opinion, the issue lies with pass rush right now.
The linebackers we don't really know. An issue in coverage as well.
Yeah, and linebackers in coverage because, like Urban Meyer said, it looked like they hadn't seen a screen their whole life.
Oh yeah, screens killed us.
That's what you're gonna get, man. If you don't, I mean, I don't know how good Damian Wilson is at reading the screen, but you would expect Miles Jack to be able to clean that stuff up. That's what you miss. I know he's in trouble with the law, but Telvin Smith, man, he was really good at that.
Yeah, I mean, Miles Jack actually had a pretty rough game against the Browns, if we're honest here.
Yeah.
But
how much is that as rust? How much is that not playing? The biggest thing, though, was Trevor Lawrence on those third downs.
Looked pretty
converting.
Good.
That was what you want to see, especially
he was throwing out of the break.
Right, especially from a young guy. That's what you want to see.
Marvin Jones looked good, too.
I know he held the ball a little bit, took some sacks, but
nobody was getting open either.
You can't lie. That 3rd and 9, and then it was a 3rd and 10 where he hit the bomb to
Marvin.
Honestly, I think the out route on 3rd and 9 was more impressive than the 3rd and was it 3rd and 9 that he hit the 35? It was the 3rd and 10 he hit the 35-yarder.
The 3rd and 9 was the out route.
The out route to Marvin Jones to me was more impressive than the deep ball to him.
Yeah, because he hit him before he even made the break.
I don't even think Marvin was expecting it because he almost dropped it.
Yeah, he had to double catch it.
Yes, and that was on the money. You're talking out route on the money towards the sideline. I mean, that was chef's kiss. That was a great throw.
Yeah, I think Trevor Lawrence is going to do better when we actually start scheming on offense because guys are going to get open more. He needs
to learn his internal clock.
Yeah, and
stop holding the ball. This isn't Clemson. They're not going against Georgia Southern. These dudes are going to get after. They're going to get you after like 2.5, 3 seconds. They're going to be there. So you got to like have that mental.
He'll get there pretty quickly, in my opinion.
But other than that, I mean, the D-line, the run defense was amazing.
Run defense was my star of the game.
I know that they weren't playing against Chubb and Kareem Hunt, but
15 yards in the first half.
Those guys, I don't care if they were playing against them. They weren't going to get anything on those carries either because that run defense was killing them.
15 rush yards in the first half, 41 or something in the entire game. Best run defense I've witnessed in my life from the Jaguars.
It's probably the best. It's really good run defense. Probably the best run defense since at least, I'd say, a better part of 15 years. 2007 was probably the last time we had run defense like that, and that's when we had Stroud and Henderson in the middle.
Yeah, that was really good. You could see the rotation was really moving there. You could see the safeties were even getting on it. My guy, my other star of the game, Andre Sisco, he's a cover guy. He was getting in on the run game.
Hey, Rayshawn was getting in there.
Rayshawn was in there clocking people.
I'm sure King Wing would have got in there if he didn't get concussed.
Got Darth Wingard next to me.
Hey, man. Winger's making the squad, bro. Everyone's backtracking. Everybody was saying he was going to get cut. All the writers, now they're all backtracking. They're putting him in the roster for their final 53.
I had him on my 53-man roster the entire time. I just like to joke around and saying if he gets cut.
He's too good at special teams. Too good. And Urban Meyer, what does he love? Special teams.
Pretty much. But yes, Andre Cisco looked good in coverage. Andre Cisco looked good in the run game. Andre Cisco looked like a future star. Trayvon Merrick, who?
Right. I think Cisco's going to start week 1, in my opinion. They
I
already
think
had
so
him.
too.
They had him practicing with the 1s and 11s yesterday.
Yeah, they had him. Yeah, yesterday was the first day.
Also, Gardner Minshew looked like absolute trash.
Gardner Minshew looked so bad.
He had a jump pass Hail Mary that went like, 30 yards?
And it got picked off.
And it got picked off. And C.J. Beathard looked way better than him. He and C.J.
Beathard looked like the best quarterback in that game, probably.
Anticipates his throws a lot better than Minshew does.
Beathard is just overall better, in my opinion, in a game.
And we're paying a lot of money.
People are going to say, but training camp, I don't care how you do in training camp if you don't play good in games.
Right.
If you suck in practice, but you're good in games, great. If you suck in games, but you're good in training camp, I could care less.
Yeah, that doesn't help us. That doesn't help us any.
Game day is what matters.
But if Beathard comes out again and has another strong performance, I think Beathard will probably play the majority of snaps in preseason week 3.
Probably.
And if he lights it up that game, I wouldn't be surprised to see Minshew traded if some team wants to give us anything for him at this point. Because if he keeps playing like dog crap, they're not going to get anything for him. I
don't even know if that performance was so bad. Like, he had a deep ball to Colin Johnson. Like, you could even see, when you watched it during the game, it was bad. But then I got to watch it again, watching the mic'd up Colin Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Colin Johnson, if you put the ball over the top, Colin's got long enough arms to get that. But Minshew, he lobbed it. The velocity on it was disgustingly bad. It went so high. The arc was terrible. And then it just fell behind him and almost got picked off by a safety. And then he overthrew Travis Etienne by 7 feet.
Yeah, that was a bad play because Etienne had nothing but green grass in front of him. And his speed, he could have
housed it.
35, 40 yards. I don't know if he's going to house it, but
I mean, he might
35, 40 yards at least.
Yeah. Etienne's that guy in open field that could house anything like that. But either way,
I honestly hope that he plays a lot better so that we can get some trade value for him again. And at least get back what you got for him. You just give me a 6. Damn, please.
Minshew is so bad. And then you got the Minshew fans rooting for Trevor to go Alex Smith, Joe Theismann because
that was disgusting.
It's like, come on.
That was trash human beings and definitely not fans of the Jaguars, just Minshew fans.
I think he was a Colt fan because he said he wants him to get traded to the Colts. So probably
he was wearing a Washington State shirt in his profile picture.
Oh, so he must be a Washington State fan.
A Minshew fan. Salty fans.
Either way, those are my Tim Tebow was terrible.
No, I don't want to even talk about it. The blocking was just, once I saw that, you and I both agreed that it was time. I was like, dude, this is.
It was time to go.
Honestly, why Urban even put him in that situation to begin with, I'll never know. Why not show a little bit if you wanted to do like some
handoffs?
Yeah.
Fullback stuff?
Yeah.
He even got a reception stolen from him. He just stood there. He literally just stood there staring at the ball coming towards him, and Tavon Austin jumped in front of it and took it.
Yep.
It's like, if you want to catch the ball, don't just stand there staring at it come to you. Like,
you gotta attack the ball.
Exactly. Attack the football.
They should have just had him run some packages where he was going to get like some direct snaps or like some fullback handoffs up the middle, just to see if he could do that at least. But you're going to make him out there and put him out there and block. He's never blocked at any level probably his entire life.
Yeah, his blocking was,
honestly, that was a mismanagement by Meyer. And at that point, if that's what you were going to do with him, you probably shouldn't have signed him to begin with.
Yeah, his blocking, I think you could throw me and Shawn and I out there and we'd do the same thing.
So the one that got the most play was the one where he hit the dude and he like spun off of him, but the one after that was way worse.
Yeah.
When the dude just he was like setting up the block, he just looked so lost.
He just got shoved out.
His head was down. The dude was just like, get the hell out of here, Tebow, and just blew the running back up. If I was a running back, I was like, yo, Herbert, you better cut this dude now. That was embarrassing.
In the first one that blew up, Tebow, technically he got the job done, but the defender took an inside step and screwed himself. So
yes.
So that was more on the defender. That defender probably got chewed out for getting beat by Tebow.
I'm honestly I was still surprised that they did cut him. I didn't think he was going to. But to me, that gives Meyer more credibility that he did. That he didn't let it drag on, that he just was like, bro, you got to go.
He said, take the subjectivity out of it. And he did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, now let's get into the 5 guys who were cut this week because, got to go from 90 to 85. And then next week, you got to go from 85 to 80 and then down to 53. We got DJ Daniel, Georgia
Trash.
cornerback, waived, sucks, Georgia talent.
Trash.
I'm just saying that's a Georgia corner out there. Then you got Josh Imatorbhebhe. He got waived because of injury. He's actually on the Jags injury reserve now because he passed through waivers. Thank God. Because I still have a lot of hope for Imatorbhebhe at some point because he's got talent. He's just been hurt since minicamp.
Yeah, I just don't know how long he'll be on IR for. I don't know if it's probably not. I don't think it's season ending, is it? I don't think.
I have
think
no
it's
idea.
It's just probably the 6-weeker.
Hopefully he gets healthy, stash him on the practice squad, see what he can do. Maybe he'll turn into something. I'm just glad he's still around.
Is it? Did they make it? They make the rule where you can bring somebody back off IR no matter when it is, all season long now? Isn't that the rule because of COVID, or is it?
I think so.
I think so. You can bring him back whenever. Hopefully, he gets healthy enough to come back and maybe if we have some wide receivers who are underperforming.
Yeah, we never figured out what actually happened with Imatorbhebhe. He's just been out and has not practiced since. Hasn't even put on pads. I don't even think he's been out there since rookie minicamp.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
And he had some good plays during OTAs that got us hyped. Like I remember that all the reporters were like, his vertical is showing.
That and he's really built. So you could even probably possibly move him as a move tight end.
Yeah.
If you wanted to get him on the roster at some point.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm just glad he passed through waivers. Another guy who was waived because of injury was undrafted free agent as well, Tim Jones. Didn't see much out of.
He's also on IR too. I think.
He's on IR because he passed through waivers, so maybe he'll become something. I'm more excited for Imatorbhebhe, but Tim Jones, he was another guy who got hurt, and we signed 100 other receivers.
Yeah, Jeff Cotton is really lucky that Tim Jones got hurt.
I thought Jeff Cotton was going to get cut this week, not going to lie.
He's lucky that DJ Daniels showed absolutely nothing. Tim Tebow was dog crap, and that Tim Jones got hurt. I think he'll be next on the list, though, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's going next week. He was so bad versus the Browns.
Yeah, and he sucks in camp, too. He drops balls.
He only survived because Tim Tebow, because we had 3 injury guys get waived.
Mm-hmm.
If we had to waive actual people who just weren't good, he was gone. No question.
Yeah.
Then you got another... I think he's another undrafted free agent, defensive tackle Daniel Ross.
No, he's a veteran. I think he's been in the league for 5 years.
Oh, okay. Well, he got waived because he got reserve/injured. He passed through waivers, I believe, as well. So he's still technically.
Did he get waived or did he just get put on IR straight up?
I think he might have just got put on IR straight up.
Yeah, I think so.
Either way, he's still around. Nothing much about him. And then Timothy Tebow. Rest in peace, the dream.
I think he needs to go back to just being an analyst on SEC Network. He's good at that.
Yeah. Do what's best for him. It was fun seeing Tebow. The 85 jersey, I don't care. It looks so good. I hope they put him on. I hope they discount him to $25 or something on the NFL shop because he got cut. Whenever somebody gets cut, they discount the price. I hope they do that because I'll cop one just to put it on the wall just because. The 85, it looks good.
That and it's Tebow, and he was in your favorite team.
Yeah, exactly. That's why people are clowning on the people who bought Tebow jerseys. I don't think any of them regret it.
No one bought it
because they thought he was going to be good.
With the idea that he was going to make the roster, probably they bought it because it's
he's a hometown hero.
When do you ever have a chance to buy your hometown hero's jersey in your favorite professional sports teams colors? You just never. It never happens like that,
Exactly. Well, those are the guys who got cut. We already went over the Browns preseason game, so let's go ahead and get into the unofficial depth chart. It's the same as it was last week. So this is as of August 18th, which is the day we're recording this. You're seeing this a couple days later. But let's go over all the starters. Starter at wide receiver, DJ Chark.
Still injured.
Yeah, he's still hurt. He has the finger, but he actually has been out there in pads running routes and stuff. He just hasn't been catching. So good signs. He should be back soon. Then at the other receiver spot, inside at slot, you got Laviska Shenault. Then at the other outside position, you got Marvin Jones. As figured, that's what was expected.
I think Laviska. I know we're talking about the roster, but I think Laviska's the way. If what they showed on offense at all was anything we could expect at all, like even a little bit, he's gonna have
They're
a lot of
going to
catches.
get the ball in his hands.
He's gonna have a lot of catches, dude.
Then you got, as for depth on the receivers, the top 3 depth receivers are Laquan Treadwell, Jamal Agnew, and Philip Dorsett. That's important to note because they do like Philip Dorsett and Laquan Treadwell. So I think they're probably going to make the roster. And then here's where it gets interesting. Then at 7, 8, 9, you got Colin Johnson, Pharaoh Cooper, and Jalen Camp. Those are the 3 guys who I think are fighting for that last receiver spot that's going to make the team. Because I think we're keeping 7 receivers. I think we have too many guys not to keep 7 receivers. So I think it's going to be between those 3.
They'll keep Colin Johnson probably just because I feel like it's probably a virtual certainty that if you release him or waive him, he's going to get picked up by somebody else.
Yeah.
You could probably get away with waiving Pharaoh Cooper and having him get to the practice squad. And maybe Camp, because he hasn't shown anything in camp.
I think Camp might get picked up though.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Yeah.
Because of his height, weight, speed.
It's just the likelihood is Colin Johnson has been on the field and shown play.
Yes. Camp hasn't.
And Colin's 6'6". He's a red zone threat. I think they started him in some red zone drills this past week.
I'll say though, Cooper's been balling in camp.
He's been balling with Minshew, so
I've been seeing his name come up a lot.
Then you got all the other trash cans that aren't going to make the roster, irrelevant.
Well, Tavon Austin, though, he might fight.
He's going to go to the practice squad. I can almost guarantee that.
Probably.
There's 16 practice squad spots now, so that's fun.
Half of them are going to be wide receivers.
Let's look at the offensive line now. You got Cam Robinson as the starter for left tackle, Andrew Norwell, Brandon Linder, AJ Can. I don't know how you say it. I think it's Can. But
I say Can.
Some people say Con. I think it's Can. Jawan Taylor and Chris Manhertz is your starting tight end as well. That's exactly what I figured it'd be, because Chris Manhertz, he may not be the best receiver, but he's a fantastic blocker, and that's what Urban likes. And it's the same offensive line. I think Walker Little is going to start week 1, or at least very early in the season, because I'm not high on Cam Robinson, and PFF agrees with me. I don't like PFF, but they gave him like a 59 grade.
Right. Honestly, if any of these other tackles, these young guys, show you anything at all, you could probably lob Cam Robinson over there to the Bears.
Yeah, the Bears. Tevin Jenkins out for the season, possibly.
Yep, lob Cam Robinson. Give us a. I'll take a 3 or a 4 for him.
A third for Cam Robinson would be Urban Meyer and Trent Baalke.
Masterclass.
Thank you.
I'm saying, then you put Walker Little in there, and then if any of the other young guys show you anything at all, I think even Ben Barch could probably swing out and play tackle in a pinch if he had really needed him to.
Yeah, if he had to.
Yep.
As the backups, you got Walker Little, Ben Barch, Tyler Shatley, Trevoir Wallace Sims, Will Richardson, and James O'Shaughnessy is the backup tight end. The backup tight end, he's just a receiving tight end. If they're going to use a tight end in the receiving game, he's probably going to be out there, because James has been the only guy that's really shown much as a good receiver.
Right.
Then, same offensive lineman as expected. Then you got a bunch of trash cans. Derwin Gray is farther down the line than I'd like, because I thought Derwin Gray was doing pretty good in the training camp, but and he actually did pretty good versus the Browns too. So I'd like him over Trevoir Wallace Sims, but that's just me.
Yeah, but you got Linder. He's hurt. I thought it was something not that serious, but then now they're saying he's gonna miss him a lot. He could miss a lot of time.
We'll see.
He's always hurt, dude. I honestly, he makes a lot of money, dude. I'd possibly wouldn't be surprised if he gets cut next year.
Maybe that's what
he makes a lot of money, dude. And Tyler Shatley's so cheap, and he plays. I hate to say it, and people are gonna disagree, but there's not a noticeable drop off between them two. There's just not. To me, there's not. If anything, they run a lot better with Shatley.
Yeah.
Pass blocking, I mean, maybe he's not as good, but I don't notice that as much.
Yeah. Madden severely underrates Tyler Shatley. Also, Shatley is number 69. Come on.
Nice.
Nice.
He's also your swing guard.
Exactly. Tyler Shatley, besides Walker Little, is easily our best backup offensive lineman.
He might. I've said it before. If Shatley was on any other team, if you put Shatley on a big market team, I guarantee you he's a top 10 center in the league.
It's crazy because Tyler Shatley signed 1-year deals with us for like a decade now, it feels like.
Is he the longest tenured Jaguar right now?
It's between Brandon Linder.
I think
Tyler
he came in
Shatley.
the year before Linder did. I want to say.
I'm not sure. Either way, they're close.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's crazy. Dude's been a backup center his whole career for us.
I know, and he just keeps signing back with us, even though
But
he's
he's really
pretty
good. I remember I'm pretty sure he had like a lot of bench reps. Like I remember his Madden, like his strength rate's like 95, dude.
Yeah,
That's probably why he's so good at run block. He just moves dudes off the spot.
he's a stud. It's unfortunate he's never gotten a true chance during his career.
I'm surprised he's never entered free agency. I guess he just likes being comfortable. He's like, I know I'm gonna play because Linder's gonna get hurt.
Then, as the third string tight end, you got Luke Farrell, and then you got Ben Ellefson, Tyler Davis.
Trash cans.
Ben Ellefson was pretty dang
I thought
bad for
Ellison was
some
gonna
reason.
be good, man. He was showing out in camp and stuff.
I
They had
know,
him
and then
running
he
with
was
the ones,
so bad
and then
versus
he
the Browns.
dropped that ball.
It wasn't even just the drop versus the Browns. He was just terrible all around. All right, let's move on to the fun. Quarterback, Gardner Minshew or Trevor Lawrence. Or. Then you got his third string, they got CJ Beathard and then Jake Luton.
Jake Luton, practice squad. CJ Beathard, in my opinion, should be on the roster. I think they should.
If CJ Beathard practiced better, if CJ Beathard practiced like he plays in games, Minshew would be gone.
Minshew could still be gone anyway. Like I said, if Beathard keeps lighting it up, and they find a suitor for Minshew, there could be one out there. You never know what happens. Injuries, I'm not wishing injury on anybody, but injuries happen, and some team might lob a fifth round pick for Minshew. So I mean, he sucks, but like sometimes he doesn't suck. It's crazy.
He gets worse every game. The thing for me is he's gotten worse every single game he's played.
It seems like he's not improving at all year to year. People are saying, "Oh, he looks in practice, he's looking but they're still noticing the same issues with him.
Exactly.
He's never going to be a quality starter in this league because he can't see the field, he can't see/read the field, and he doesn't have an arm.
And
Pete Prisco says he's awful.
He doesn't have good pocket presence either.
No, he's two-hand Minshew.
He either doesn't sense the rush and holds onto the ball, or he thinks somebody's there when they're not and starts jumping in circles.
He puts two hands on the ball and he goes, and then he like lobs it or throws a pick or gets sacked. It's just like I think Pete Prisco was a little harsh on him.
Pete Prisco is like me, bro.
He's a little harsh on him, but he is not very good.
Yeah,
and people
stop the stat argument. It makes no sense. Watch the game.
This whole thing that Urban's doing where it's like every position has a competition. I get that. I was cool with it at first. It's just gone too far.
Trevor's won the job at this point.
It's gone too far. He won the job 10 days ago. He won the job when he was hired. But he won the job at least like 10 days ago before the first preseason game.
And he definitely won the job during the preseason game.
Right.
It's just annoying. Anyways, running back, you got James Robinson or Carlos Hyde, which I don't like because Carlos Hyde is not good. It is what it is. Travis Etienne is the third down running back, which I say this on Twitter as well. He's going to be, I want him to be the second running back, and he probably will be sooner or later, but they're going to get him on the field whether he's the third string or not. He's a player that they're going to put on the field consistently, starter or not, because that's his role. You know what I mean?
And in theory, he's going to be all over the field.
Exactly.
I can't wait to have him and Robinson on the field at the same time.
Oh, they did split Travis Etienne out wide quite a decent bit during the preseason game. It was actually fun to see. Dare Ogunbowale, and then
Dare. You always say Dare. It's Dare.
Dare
Ogunbowale.
What a name.
Who I think is going to be on the practice squad, but he plays his tail off, man. I remember he played the last regular season game last year or the second to last one when Robinson was out. He was playing pretty good.
Last two, because Robinson was hurt both.
He was playing pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah, he's a good special teamer too. He's He's an underrated guy to possibly make the roster.
If they keep 4, he's making it, but they might just
Yeah.
keep 3 just so they can keep an extra receiver.
Depends how many quarterbacks they keep, how many tight ends they keep, and if they want to keep depth anywhere else.
Wide receiver, I think, is where it's going to be like, because I can see them keeping 7.
Imagine they keep 8. That'd be wild.
It's crazy.
All right, that's the starting offense right there, or the whole offense. Now let's move on to the fun defense. Defensive tackle, Malcolm Brown. Makes sense.
Hate it.
You hate it?
I hate Malcolm Brown being the D tackle in a 3-4. He's a nose tackle. He was a nose tackle for the Saints. I hate him being in that spot. Find someone else.
Devon Hamilton's.
Put Smoot there if you feel like it. Put Doug Costa in there.
So you'd rather have Malcolm Brown as a backup nose tackle than a
I'd rather have him
tackle?
and Hamilton swapping out at nose tackle to keep fresh legs, yeah.
All right.
They got Doug Costin as backup nose. Doug Costin is like 6'2", 295. He's not a nose tackle.
Yeah.
He is a D tackle. Put him there. Put him there, or put Smoot there, or put Gotsis there.
Yeah, I can see that.
I just don't like it. I don't like that. I don't know why they're doing that. I don't really. You're not going to get much push with that front, in my opinion. Like as far as like pass rush goes.
Yeah, that makes
Whereas
sense.
like he's playing essentially. Think of the Rams defense. He's playing in Aaron Donald's spot. Malcolm Brown is.
Bruh.
That's not. He's not that player. He's not. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
I was gonna say that, but you beat me to it.
It's not his skill set. It's just not his skill set.
Yeah. Then at defensive end, you got Roy Robertson Harris, which that makes
Beast.
sense. He was really good. He only played like 12 snaps. And his first
He was
snap,
getting pushed. He was getting pushed. Yeah.
Then you got Josh Allen as outside linebacker. I used to think when I first started watching football, I thought OLB stood for offensive linebacker.
Oh, you're stupid.
I was.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's how much I knew when I started watching football.
Outside.
Then you got it Mike, Damian Wilson. You got it Will, Miles Jack. So Miles Jack is literally playing the exact same position that he was last year. At other outside linebacker, you got Kayvon Chason.
He got close one play.
Yeah, Chason looked decent at points, and they gave Chason a lot of play time too.
He had that. I saw one. I forget. I don't remember exactly where it was at, but he got some bend, man. He came on the corner, and he was just like, man, a fraction of a second away from sacking the crap out of the quarterback.
Of all the starters, Chason played the most by a long shot.
Yes.
Then you got starting receivers. Starting cornerbacks, you got Shaquille Griffin, Sidney Jones, or Tyson Campbell.
It's not gonna be like it's not gonna be that on starting on week 1, guaranteed.
Yeah, it's gonna change. Then you got for free safety, Rayshon Jenkins is the starter. And then where it gets interesting is strong safety, which in my opinion, this means they're very undecided on who it's going to be. But it's Josh
they know
Jones
who's going to be.
or Jared Wilson or Rudy Ford or Andre Sisco. Literally every strong safety could be the starter, basically, is what this says. But I think it's easily going to be Andre Sisco based off performances we've seen.
Yeah, I think Josh Jones gets cut.
Yeah, Josh Jones needs to get cut. He's not good. All right, now let's go into the backups. You got Dwayne Smoot as the backup defensive tackle, Doug Costin as the backup nose tackle, Adam Gotsis as the backup defensive end,
Beast,
Jihad Ward as the backup outside linebacker, and Jihad Ward getting the amount of reps he did, he only got like 12 as well, which shows me they're going to use him a lot.
Urban was saying, Joe Colin was saying that they're going to play him all over the defense. They're going to play him inside on the line, outside on the line, and he can play standing up.
Jihad, like he said, he's living his best life.
He's 285.
Jihad Ward is living his best life on and off the field.
That ain't what he said.
You can say it.
I'm living my mup in life, is what he said. That was so funny.
It was. And he was talking about traveling too.
Yeah.
Jihad Ward is easily one of my favorite Jaguars. Like, remember that question we had a couple podcasts ago? Who are your favorite Jaguars currently? I didn't list Jihad Ward. I regret that. I regret that decision.
We didn't know what we had.
Exactly. Jihad Ward is a GOAT. Then you got backup Mike Shaquille Quarterman, who, like I said, apparently might be pushing for the job. Then you got backup Will, Chappelle Russell. He's apparently a guy who could make the roster. We'll see. Then you got Lorente McCray as the other outside linebacker. Trey Herndon as one of the other backup cornerbacks. CJ Henderson is the third string corner, even though they gave him a lot of 1 reps. They gave him a lot of reps, but he's the third string corner, or however that works. Yeah, third string. And then you got Luck Barku. Chris Claybrooks is really far down. Chris Claybrooks is farther down than Luck Barku. I just noticed that.
Interesting.
Jamison Houston, Corey Strotter, Lorenzo Burns. I didn't even know that guy was on the team, not gonna lie.
Oh, he's the one they picked up.
From the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He didn't play, I don't think.
I completely forgot about him. He's 35. I saw 35. Every time I saw 35, I was like, is that Sidney Jones? And then I'm like, no, Sidney Jones changed his number.
Yeah. Then you got a bunch of other guys, like you got J2 Fele. Honestly, he might be a person to start at D tackle over Malcolm Brown.
Yeah.
You got J2 Fele, Daniel Equale is another nose, Taven Bryan, who's going to not make the roster.
Aaron Patrick
he's a dark horse to me to make the roster.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's a dark horse. He's been pretty good.
Did he get a sack in the preseason game?
Yeah.
And he's getting sacks in camp, and he's beating Cam Robinson. As you're drinking from your SpongeBob cup.
I was waiting for you to say that. I've had this cup for years.
Quincy Williams, Dakota Allen, they're both gone.
Jordan Randall.
Jordan Smith
surprised Kenny Randall made the cut this week.
Oh yeah. Jordan Smith should probably jump Lorente McCray as the backup, in my opinion. Not that McCray's
breakup.
Yeah, not that McCray's bad or anything, but you want to get the rookie some reps. And you got CJ Henderson, who's going to start. They have him as CB. What was it? 5 right now.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's about 5.
He's starting. Then you got Daniel Thomas and Brandon Rusnak. Daniel Thomas they're probably both going to get released if Thomas makes it through. Without getting claimed, he'll probably go to practice squad, but he'll probably
Daniel Thomas is on the COVID list still, so he's done.
Yeah.
Brandon Rusnak sucks too. Yeah, that's
Wingard's making the roster. That's all that matters.
Yep, Wingard's King Wing is up there.
King Wing.
Darth Dewey.
Darth Dewey.
All right, let's look at the special teams. The most important most important part of the game for the brand. You got Josh Lambo, Logan Cook, Ross Matisic. Logan Cook Logan Cook, holder and punter. Jamal Agnew is the punt returner and kick returner. He's not getting he didn't get any reps during the first preseason game. He might get more, but I think they're bubble wrapping him because special teams, especially as a returner, is an easy way to get killed.
What's funny though is not a player not listed at all on the depth chart for punt return kick returners.
Exactly.
Brooks.
Yeah, I was thinking that same thing.
He played the most of the game.
Yeah, he was good. He was the first kick returner actually.
He had that long kick return that somebody messed up. I'm not gonna name names.
Name the name.
I can't remember.
You're trying to say you're not gonna name names as if it was Tim Tebow or something.
I don't remember who it was.
Tim Tebow wasn't good on special teams, so it might have been him for all we know.
He didn't play special teams. He played 0 snaps on special teams.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, that was the big thing. That's how they knew that. That's what analysts were saying, that they knew he wasn't going to make the team. He played 0 snaps on special teams. You can't make the roster as a tight end 4 not playing special teams.
Corey Strotter is the lone third string punt returner.
I don't think we saw him do anything.
I don't remember it. I think he dropped a couple punts in practice.
Well, I didn't remember seeing Farrow get any returns either. They didn't let him get some returns.
I know, we saw Claybrooks, not Cooper.
Yeah.
Anyways, though, that's the unofficial depth chart. It's going to change. Don't overreact too much. We still got 2 more preseason games to go. All right, now let's go into the viewer question segment. Excuse me. First question from Aiden. What is everyone's own favorite / best moment as a Jags fan? Least favorite moment as well. I'll take that away for myself. My favorite moment as a Jags fan, it's either I gotta say probably, this is gonna sound so embarrassing, but probably last year when the Jets beat the Rams. I was running around my house in circles because I knew we got the first overall pick. Mm-hmm. But if it has to be an actual Jags moment, I wasn't really there for 2017. I was there on the back end, so I can't really pick those. So I'm probably going to take maybe that The Broncos game was really good. Where Minshew had the Minshew magic.
Yeah.
Actually, my favorite moment was the Thursday night football game against the Tennessee Titans. I was there at the game. I remember walking into the stadium because I got there at kickoff, so the game had already kicked off, and I was walking in, and I suddenly hear everybody screaming, and I run out, and I see Leonard Fournette 60 yards downfield. It was just great. Plus King Wing, King Wing got that fumble on the first kickoff or first punt.
All he does is make plays, man. Everybody wants to hate on him because sometimes he hits after the whistle. So, big deal.
My least favorite moment as a Jags fan is probably when we started that losing streak in 2018. It's a combined moment, but like that Chiefs game, the Chiefs game and on, that was just so bad. And we started the season so well too.
Right.
But I'll let Shawn take it away for his answer.
All right, so my favorite moment, I got like two favorite moments. My favorite moments are every time we beat the Steelers twice in their own place.
Oh, that was fantastic.
07 and the playoffs in 17 and the season of 17. So that was
we
pretty
own
cool.
the Steelers. There's even a Jaguar statue down there.
Yep. And then my other favorite moment is I think it was I want to say it was the 2010 season. And it's when Josh Schobert hit this game-winning 58-yarder versus the Colts in regular season as time expired.
I thought it was a 59-yarder.
58, 59, something like that. I remember being at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I was so excited that I spilled my drink all over the table.
Great job.
So, my least favorite Jaguars moment was probably when we drafted Leonard Fournette 4th overall.
That was bad.
I was like...
Over Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, all the other guys I could go over days ago.
I was just like, my philosophy, as I say, you don't draft running backs that high.
And what makes it even worse, besides just being a running back, is how many good running backs went in that draft.
And the fact that he wasn't very good, and we don't have him anymore. So
he was probably one of the worst running backs, like recognizable running backs taken in that draft, and he was the highest one. And there were guys that Austin Eckler, wasn't Eckler like a 6th-round pick or something, 5th or 6th?
I couldn't tell you, dude. All I know was Kareem Hunt was in that draft. Freaking Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey,
everybody. Anyways,
wasn't Alvin Kamara in that draft too?
Yeah, he was. He went in the 4th round.
Yeah, so whatever. That was probably my least favorite moment as a Jaguars fan. I was just like, oh god.
Drafting Kevin Bryan sucked.
They never learn. I actually didn't hate that moment because I didn't really I was like, okay, I get it. D-line's getting old.
A lot of people hated it because there was Lamar Jackson right there.
I wasn't a fan of him in the pre-draft process, but I'm not really a fan of him now. If we're being completely serious, he's gotten COVID twice.
Vax up.
Get your vax. Yo.
I had to whisper that.
PSA. Everyone telling you not to get the vax? All these celebrities? I bet you they got it.
Anyways, moving on. Question number 2, also from Aiden. What made you guys Jags fans? Something specific, like a very cool moment, or just because you're around the area? For me, I'm from Jags, so my whole family has been Jags fans my whole life. I used to hate the Jags when I was younger because I used to hate sports in general, but then I saw how bad the Jags were, so I never wanted to wear the Jags shirts my family got me. Kind of funny. But then eventually my friend from Syria, George, he got me into it. We watched the Titans, the playoff game before the Patriots game. The Titans were playing. Who were the Titans playing? The Patriots and Titans were playing. What am I talking about? That was the first ever NFL game I watched, and that's where I learned and then stuff. And then I started watching the Jags, and then I just became a super diehard fan pretty quickly.
You were like 13.
Do what?
You were like 13 years old.
Something like that.
What were you doing your whole life before that?
I hated sports. I was like that super unathletic kid who never liked to go outside.
Well, now look at you. You're like obsessed.
I know. I tell myself all the time, it's crazy how it's like I went from the super weak kid who hated sports with a passion and never wanted to go outside to the kid until recently rarely games, prefers to play football, watch football, and lifts weights. It's like complete polar opposite. Anyways, yeah, that's my reason. Shawn?
My reason was I was like 7, and me and my brother were like just getting into football and stuff, and we wanted to pick teams. And he picked Carolina Panthers because we're from North Carolina, and I was like, oh, well, they came in the league in the same year as the Jaguars, so I'll pick them. It's just essentially how it happened.
Fun reason. And you know the irony where I said I used to hate wearing I never wore my Jag shirts my family got me because I knew the team sucked. I like the Gators because the first ever football game I saw on the TV, it was just on the TV. It was a Gators game, and I saw that they won, and I was like, oh, Gators. I like the animal Gators. The Gators
Bandwagon.
won, so no reason why not. And then eventually they ended up becoming my dream school and so on.
People can never say I'm a bandwagon fan. I've been with this team far too long.
I mean,
you're kind of a bandwagon. You got a fan of that thing after the playoffs, and then your life sucks now. How does it suck, doesn't it? You thought they were going to be something.
Never forget when I got a Foles jersey, because that was also kind of when I first got into it. I was still like early in my football knowledge, and I just saw a Super Bowl MVP quarterback. He's going to change the franchise. We're going to win a Super Bowl. So I bought it. I didn't buy his jersey. I asked for his jersey for Christmas, or my birthday, I mean. And now it's sitting in my closet.
You never learn. No one learns ever.
I mean, that was my first jersey. What was there to learn before that?
I'm saying not just you, people in general.
Oh, okay.
Never learn.
Connor bought a Foles jersey recently. Like, what?
Why?
Because he said it was like $10, and I'm like, okay, it's still Foles.
I'm gonna take the nameplate off of it.
True. All right, question number 3 from Johnny. Should we be worried about Josh Lambo? No.
Yes. His confidence shook.
He was perfect when what's his name? Rosas was here. Now that Rosas has been gone, he's missed some kicks.
I say bring back Captain DUI.
Bring him back just for the competition, so Lambo goes undefeated again.
Man's got a boot.
Anyways, last question of the viewer question segment. There was a bunch of other questions from Connor. Connor asked like 27 questions. I only picked one. Any surprise cuts you see happening? I could see Jalen Camp getting cut.
Not really surprised though. The only surprise that I think could happen, but I think it's very slim, is I can't even say actually. I was gonna say maybe Cam Robinson, but Urban thought he had a strong game. So it's like
there was nobody that I could think could be a surprise cut. Like I think everybody that I think is going to get cut is not really surprising. Like the only guy I think might be a surprise is Jalen Camp, just because we drafted him.
I mean, think surprise.
Would Jake Luton be a surprise?
No. The cynic in me wants to be like,
you know what? I'll say
Brandon Linder. Brandon Linder.
My potential surprise cut, Gardner Minshew. If he stinks it up both preseason games, he's going to have no trade market. And then why would you keep him on the team?
Some team might think it's, he plays for the Jaguars. So
I hope NFL teams aren't that dumb.
I would say a surprise. I want to say Linder's so bad, but there's no way they couldn't trade him for something. He's arguably a top 5 center in football. He's just always freaking hurt, man.
Interesting stuff. If Joe Schobert wasn't traded, you could have said him as a surprise cut.
True.
Sadly, we cannot. Anyways, last thing to talk about, Jags versus Saints, Monday night. Who's going to win? Who's going to lose?
It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter, but we got to warm up for the regular season here.
I think they come out and show a little bit more on offense than they did previously.
I think Trevor Lawrence is going to play more this time.
I think we still lose, I'll say, 20-17.
Yeah, we're probably still going to lose because Minshew's going to stink it up after Trevor goes out. But I think Trevor's going to play maybe at least a full quarter, maybe a half, hopefully this time. I think
Trevor gets at least one passing or rushing touchdown.
That would be fun. I'm just excited because apparently we should be doing more offensively this time, because it was painful to be there at the game watching us do nothing. and get
Right, I
blown
can
out.
imagine.
It is what
And
it
then
is.
and then Beathard came in and looked and lightened it up.
I left then. I
Should have
left at
stayed. I
halftime.
told you to stay.
My head hurt from watching
I
Minshew
said,
throw the
you
ball.
gotta watch these young guys fight for their life.
It's hard to watch young guys fight for their life when you got grown men barking next to you.
What are they barking for? Oh, it was Browns fans?
Yes.
Were you on the visitor side?
No, I was on the home side.
They just bought tickets wherever they felt like it, huh?
Yeah, I guess they just went for whatever is the cheapest. They
Barking.
were literally
Ugh.
barking all over the place. It's like, what? This is a preseason game.
Jesus.
Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the podcast. Sorry that Brian was not here. The podcast is going to be heating up soon. Next week, we got roster cuts.
Ooh, we'll be cutting the roster down to 53.
Yes, sir. You're going to get 53-man roster cuts from me, Shawn, and hopefully Brian if he shows up.
Because by the time we record this, the roster should be at 80.
Yeah, the roster will be at 80 by then. So we'll have a.
So we're cutting to 53.
We're doing
just
the
like
we're doing the
doing
cut that
53.
they're going to do next week.
Yes,
Next
sir.
week, we're doing the cut a week early for you.
Yes, sir. We're going to tell you how it's going to happen.
And then after that, 2 weeks from now, season predictions. Stay ready.
Ooh.
And then guess what? Then guess what's after? Guess what's after season predictions? Oh, Shawn.
What's after season predictions?
Shawn's lagging. But what's after season predictions? Okay, you're good now. What's after season predictions?
You tell me.
You tell me.
I don't know.
Week 1.
Oh, who cares about that? If we lose to the Texans, might as well just tank.
Might as well get Kayvon Thibodeau.
Exactly.
Stud.
We need him.
Kayvon Thibodeau, Josh Allen, Kayvon Chason, money.
Speaking of that, let's go way ahead in the future just for 1 second since we have time. What do you think of everybody mocking us Kyle Hamilton? Kyle Hamilton, safety from Notre Dame in the top 5.
I like where we are at safety.
I don't think you draft safety that high.
I don't either. And when I said that, everybody's like, he's more than a safety. They gave me the Kyle Pitts argument.
I get it, but he's a running. Safeties are the running backs of the defense.
Look what happened.
You
Jamal
don't draft
Adams
that
was
high.
like the last safety I can remember being drafted that high.
He got paid a lot, overpaid in my opinion. 4 years, $70 million, dude. $17 million for a safety, bro.
For a defensive end, you mean?
He gets paid more than some corners, some high-end corners. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't like. I like our safety room. Look at Andre Cisco. He's going to be a stud. I like
Every
Rayshawn
mock I've
Jenkins.
seen is like Kyle Hamilton. I was like, I just can't see it. If we don't resign Chark, we're definitely going wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many receivers. There's going to be so many good receivers.
I know it's way ahead of the
prediction.
future. I know we're getting way ahead of the future right now, but like I just saw like mock drafts. People are dropping mock drafts already, and everyone's like Kyle Hamilton. And also, I don't think we're picking top 5.
I don't either. Give me, if we pick receiver, like if Marvin Jones or DJ Chark, anything happens with them, give me Justin Ross. Complete the trio, bro.
Justin Ross.
Travis Etienne,
Hmm.
Trevor Lawrence, the ultimate trio, the God trio at Clemson. The
Holy
Clemson
Trinity.
Jaguars.
The Holy Trinity.
Holy Trinity. Bring it back. Anyways, we're speaking so far in the future. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next week when we cut the roster to 53.